stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Aggedor, that's Aggedor, on Mublet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin. And welcome back to the English Translation Radio Show.
Here you go, Dave. I wanted to let you know, Dave, that let's say we've got 3 speakers in the chat, but we've got, just listen to this figure, Dave, we've got 136 viewers. 136
very nice.
Viewers listening to the show. So I've got to thank everybody out there this evening, all the great fathers out there, the great-grandfathers, all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the radio show this evening. As I say, a father, I suppose you can say it's a Father's Day special, isn't it, this tonight's show, Dave?
Yeah, I suppose you call it that.
And I've passed on information that if there's any of the viewers out there that are leftists, they'll be searching Google trying to find out something I was talking about, Dave. Go on, do it. You'll have fun.
Yeah. Well,
I was drawn.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you know what? That's the thing, though. I mean, the lefties are big on this toxic masculinity thing, and basically trying to disappear men from society. And again, unless they're Mohammedans. Now, if they're Mohammedans, they can do whatever they want, and the lefties won't say a thing. But if they're non-Mohammedans, oh no, they want them to be sitting on a couch in their pajamas drinking cocoa, and and not making a good example for the generations that are coming up. I find it fascinating, Jeff, I have to say, that these women who keep talking about quote unquote toxic masculinity, when they get one of these wimpy boys for a mate, I suppose you'd say, they always treat them like crap, and they always berate them and everything like that. And the moment they can, the moment they run across a manly man, they'll start cheating on them with the manly man. So they're and one other thing I want to say though, Jeff, is now this was something that was brought up to us by a guest on a show we did some time back. You see a lot of these neighborhoods in the UK, and I'm sure it's starting here in the United States. All right, where the Mohammedans have basically taken over the streets. All right, and a lot of times the women will gravitate to the Mohammedans, and part of the reason for that, this isn't their normal, luring them in with drugs and everything else. They're going with them because they're the ones in charge. They're the tough guys. They're the ones that are leading the neighborhood. So this is another problem, as I see it, Jeff, is that the more that men take back being men and act like men, despite what the left says and despite what they try to do, the better they'll be able to defend the neighborhoods and everything.
Yeah, at the same time, I mean, because you do the right thing, you're still classed as far right by the far left, no matter what you do, because you are common sense people and doing the right things. So, yeah, what you said there, I agree, Dave, and they are trying to change people into these, soft, namby-pamby type of people. And it's just, it's not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to a lot of our patriots out there. No way. They can't change me, Dave. They can't change you. They can't change anybody who's got the, got common sense, for goodness sake. Sorry, Dave. I know you wanted to continue, but I just want to get it off my conscience.
Of course, yeah. And what I'm going to play here next, you'll see how it's timed. This is one of my older only about a 7-minute part of one of my older Unpleasant Blind Guy shows. But it's important because it tells you, it gives you a little bit of an indicator as to what has been bothering me and bothering a lot of people for some time. And this has taken place both in the UK and in the States. I did this one on the 13th of October of last year, okay? And you can find this at Spreaker.com, right? And I'm just going to give you guys the address real quick so that you can go there and listen to it, and hey, maybe even pass it around yourself. Okay, it's https www.spreaker.com/user/sackheadsradio/UBG 101318-vagination. That's VAGINATIONPT1, and that is, I'm going to play about a 7-minute stub off the start of it, okay? And this is one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today, because it's not being anti-woman to be pro-man, and I think Jeff agrees with me there, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Jeff, with your permission, I'll go ahead and start this. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead, please, Dave.
All right, man, here we go. This will be about 7 minutes. You guys are listening to the English Defense League radio show. Part of the reason I wanted to do a show in the first place was to provide a place where those who had no voice could be heard, where those who, in the fake stream media, were being increasingly misrepresented and not represented at all. On the Unpleasant Blind Guy over the past 5+ years, I created a body of work that has defended women, children, the disabled, and provided that voice for those in our society that the political class and fake stream media consider just too inconvenient to give a voice. And with my program, I've tried to send the message that the most vulnerable in our society need to be cared for and protected. With the recent confirmation hearings for now Justice Kavanaugh being completed, and the ramifications for the 2018 election upcoming, though, I felt that I had to do this special, and it refers to the vagination of the United States of America. Now, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is the complete delegitimization of men. The effort on the part of the political class and the entertainment industry to make men's ideas, men's legitimacy in society, and indeed men's presence almost anywhere, a thing of the past. Now, I can tell you people that this is nothing new. I first began noticing this in the 1970s. On TV, Father Knows Best became Father Knows Nothing. The family shows that we all knew and loved began to skew more towards the father as doofus and the one who everyone else had to go after to fix disasters created by the father. And it was more than that. Through all that time, I heard women berating men, implying sometimes and sometimes saying outright that they were mentally better than men. And it got worse and worse and worse. We saw it with Justice Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill. We saw it last year with Judge Roy Moore, who ran for Senate in Arkansas. At the 11th hour, accused of decades-old indiscretions, and his hopes for Senate gone. And then, of course, the confirmation hearings for Justice Kavanaugh. And they're not even done going after him. The left are so childish in this that they're going to try and impeach him if they gain power in 2018. Overall, over the past 40-plus years, I've watched our society make men more and more irrelevant, more and more disposable. And guys, what you have to realize is that this is being done by the elitist left to drive a wedge in our population. And it's working. Because I can guarantee there are some women who have been listening to this who are going, oh, boo-hoo, you're whining about men. How about all the centuries that we were abused and we didn't have representation and yada. You know where that comes from? Yeah, you're right, it does partly come from truth. Because for centuries there was no equality between women and men. Not in places like government and civil liberties. And with Islam, there still isn't. And never will be. But what the same women who are deriding me for whining about men won't admit is that now we have equality in society. Or at least we did before the feminist movement, much like Black Lives Matter, became less about equality and more about payback. See, guys, to the proponents of the Me Too movement, every man is guilty. We're all beasts, ready to snatch and grab and rape women. As far as the Me Too movement is concerned, men have been relegated down to the status of animals. And face it, guys, how long have you been hearing women say men are dogs? Now, again, it's not all women saying this, but it is the ones who are driving the Me Too movement. This program is going to be about calling out the Me Too movement for its hypocrisy, and it's going to be a call to return to a status of equality. After the Kavanaugh hearings, no man in the United States of America can now consider himself, his career, or any dreams in the professional world that he may have to be secure. At this point, anyone can come out of the woodwork with no evidence, no corroborating witnesses, no nothing. Level accusations at a man and finish him. Because, according to the Soros Renamobs, we believe all survivors. It's not about proof anymore. It's not about due process. We're past any of that mess. It's about a continuation of the Nazification of the United States of America that is coming from the left, and they are using women to do it. Now, I expanded on this a little bit on the English Defense League radio show, which is hosted by Jeff Mitchell. You can find that on blogtalkradio.com. It currently airs Thursdays and Sundays. This was on October the 7th, 2018, fairly soon after Judge Kavanaugh had been sworn in. Now, I chose EDL radio to do this because I had reached a point of critical mass when it came to this delegitimization of men and this vagination of the United States of America. And host Jeff Mitchell was kind enough to allow a discussion on this because the English Defense League is a great defender of women and children. And yet, some of the same people who shout the loudest for the Me Too movement work the hardest to defend the misogynistic ideology of Islam. See, guys, Me Too is more than just a political tool used almost only on men on the right. It's there to ironically and hypocritically provide a voice for an ideology that demands the most disgraceful and abusive treatment of women. So as part of this program, I'm going to play excerpts from that October 7th, 2018 EDL radio show. And in there, you'll hear some more commentary from me on the hypocrisy of the Me Too movement. And there you go, guys. That's the way that show was, and you can get it at Spreaker.com at the places I told you about. That is a major problem that we have right now. Is the fact that men are being pushed off to the side because of this BS privilege and toxic masculinity garbage and all this other stuff. It is destroying the family, and one of the rocks of the family is men. Okay, Now, there are women out there, and this has been said to people that I know, not to me, but it's been said to people that I know by single mothers. Oh, well, I'm both the mother and the father. Now, I'm not putting down single mothers by saying this, but that's impossible. As much as I respect women, a woman can't be a man, and she can't pass along the lessons that a man can to his children, just like a man can't pass along the lessons that a woman can to her children. Okay, but our society is only holding up one end of that and saying that it's only women that can pass on the positive messages, and that's just not right. Jeff, I don't know how you feel about it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just think it's just it's another way that we've seen the way that countries are being, basically this political garbage has just gone on, and it's like morphed, isn't it? In its way now, Dave. It's morphed into something really quite extraordinary. I mean, most of those guys, let's be honest, I have never had an issue with gay people. I mean, it's quite obvious. Tommy English was gay. He was my co-host at one time. He's always been a friend of mine.
Great young man.
So it's never bothered me. But it's all this. It's morphed into something now. There is. I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm probably saying yourself, shake your heads and go, "What the hell is this about?" This is all about the destruction of our families. It's a way to split societies. I would also like to say, and a lot of people might disagree with me, but what I've seen going on in this country over the last decades, a couple of decades or so now, is the problem with the churches. The churches, it seems like when I was growing up, when I was a younger man, that the church was a prominent feature. And it seems to have lost its way. And before we know it, it's deteriorated into people have lost their faith, and it's causing society. You should have this family bond. And it all used to be, back in the days of old, when I was a younger man, that we would all go to church on a Sunday. It was, you had to do it. But we've lost that. We've lost that in the country. Although, I don't know, I think there's a new spiritual awareness with people. There was a lot of people waking up. I've heard a lot of people waking up. But sadly, this has enabled what we've seen over the last 15, 20 years of like this death cult to become a prominent feature. Wanted to take, 3,000 mosques we got in this country nowadays. 130 odd Sharia courts, and you just look at the situation with across the country where the mayors are concerned. We got 10 mayors, 15 mayors, how many it is. They're in all these parts of different power structures because this was the whole plan. Unfortunately, a lot of people back in time were pre-warned and never did anything about it. This is where we are today. It's gone from, remember men, so if you're a man, he's too toxic, masculine, and you think, old stuff you like, I am who I am. If you don't like it, jog on. But then you say that, and before you know it, you got the left all screaming and shouting and pulling their hair out, having tantrums, wetting themselves, running around their hair alight. That's what we
throwing milkshakes around.
It's
Jeff.
crazy, man.
Right.
I'll tell you, it really.
You're right.
It really is. But there you go. That's my take on what I see, what I've seen developing. And I never think we'd be in such a state now. And I blame it on socialism as well. There you go. This is another thing.
Well, that's another part of it.
Socialism played a big part in this crap, ladies and gentlemen.
That's another part of it. But you mentioned the churches, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, this is something else that Lonnie Poindexter was talking about with one of his guests, and that the churches are are doing less and less to promote the family, and more to promote this, almost this soft spiritualism, and it's not the kind of thing that draws men into the churches, and that is a big problem. The thing is, you should want to go to church. It shouldn't be a thing you should have to do. It should be a thing you want to do. But Jeff, I want to play a tune here real quick. I know we're running the clock down, but I want to play a tune here real quick. This is one that I normally don't like country music. I find it depressing. Okay, I'll just say that right straight up. But this one, I wanted to play this. It goes out to all the dads, all the granddads, all the great granddads, all the men, coaches, men who shape other young men so that they can pass along the positivity that is manhood, and the willingness to help take care of our families and our friends and our societies and ourselves. Jeff, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and play this here, and then we'll come back and do another little thing or two. Okay, it's about 3 minutes. You ready?
Yeah, go for it, Dave. Thank you.
All right, guys, here you go. You're listening to the English Defense League radio show. And that is it for this time. Next time, Part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2019. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
The new show on the SHR Media Network, Sackheads Against Tyranny. On shrmedia.com. Go there quick like a bunny, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, every Wednesday. Live and direct on the SHR Media Network. shrmedia.com. Be there.
Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, a mere 2 miles from the state capital, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern, only on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com to listen. You can also watch on the SHR Media Facebook page and the SHR Media YouTube channel. No goldfish were abused in the making of this ad.
Hey girls, Carry Girl Gear is here. More and more women every day are concealed carrying, participating in competitive shooting, and getting firearms training. It's not a boys' club anymore, and we don't have to shop in their stores anymore either. Finally, a cool and unique clothing line just for women. Dope tees and hats for the patriotic concealed carry and 2A girl. So what are you waiting for? Go check out carrygirlgear.com today.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.